But the WNBA have completely failed Olivia Miles. Like, Olivia Miles is probably having the best rookie season of all time. Like, I don't know if she'll kind of hit the peak of that, like, 15-game stretch where Caitlin Clark averaged 22 and 12. Like, I don't think she's going to hit that peak. That being said, Olivia Miles didn't have the slow start that Caitlin Clark had, and she's hardly had a bad game this year. Like, Olivia Miles against the Seattle Storm here looked unbelievable. And unlike those dumbasses that are like, oh, Caitlin's 45-point game doesn't count, it's only against the Storm. No. The Storm are a really good defense. They are a really good defensive team. And you're looking here at Olivia Miles, and she's just so smooth. Her IQ is crazy. She got drafted a perfect situation. And, like, what is that? Like, I'm sorry. Like, if Caitlin Clark puts up this shot, it's on SportsCenter. It is on SportsCenter. Like, that is one of the most crazy shots I've ever seen. That is genuinely, like, that is a circus shot. Like, for a player to be confident to just shoot that shit, that is a circus shot. And, like, this is where you're like, the league are failing Olivia Miles. Because they're falling into the same Paige Bueckers trap that the WNBA media most of the time aren't real basketball. It's not real basketball. They're not real basketball media because Olivia Miles is all hoop. She is all hoops. She is a hooper. She's going to shit talk. She's a gamer. She steps up when it matters. Olivia Miles is nothing but hoops. Nobody has a clue when it comes to Olivia Miles about anything other than her hoops. And that is the way it should be with these players. It is nothing but hoops. Clutch as fuck as well, by the way. Let's be very clear. She is clutch as fuck. And the thing with Olivia Miles, and why I'm saying the league has failed her, is the league has reduced her to being she's better than Caitlin. And the worst part is that, like, it's never, even if the comparison is there, comparison is always going to be there. But she's only ever mentioned in a way to put down Caitlin Clark. Not what realistically there should be. There's no conversations about whether or not she's having a better rookie season than Candace Parker. Like, that's where the conversation should be. The conversation should be around Olivia Miles is she having the best rookie season of all time? And you might be saying, oh, Candace Parker won MVP. Yes, AJ Wilson did not exist when Candace Parker was in the league. Is Olivia Miles having the greatest rookie season ever? Those conversations should be a thing. But instead, you've got the WNBA quoting fake records, saying she's the first to this amount of points and this amount of assists, or done it in the quickest amount of games, when she tied Caitlin Clark. There's one where she did it 4 games slower than Caitlin. They're making fake records for her because, in fairness, she's not going to compete with Caitlin in terms of statistical output. No guard is ever going to compete with Caitlin Clark as far as statistical output is concerned. The way she plays the game, she is going to generate stats better than anyone else in history. But the league is so, like, infatuated with records that they're like, oh, Paige Bueckers. One of the ones is like, Paige Bueckers overtakes Caitlin Clark as 4th fastest player to this amount of points. And I'm like, they're literally, people are talking about, like, records with Caitlin Clark, and they're like, Paige breaking Caitlin Clark to 4th. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? The good thing is that Olivia Miles is probably going to set the record for most rookie points in a season. That's an actual record. But, like, there are so many things to talk about with the Minnesota Lynx, with Olivia Miles. And they are the media. You are supposed to be better than this. Unfortunately, like, I am a YouTube channel. I am a person who likes to talk about topics. And I am talking about Olivia Miles in a more productive way than any of you guys are, who are getting paid significantly more money than I am to talk about Olivia Miles. Let's be clear. There are good. I'm not talking about everybody. Like, if you go on look at what Noah Dalzell does. If you look at some, like, some of the places that avoid as much as possible, avoid all this bullshit nonsense. You'll hear people talking about Olivia Miles properly. But if you go into ESPN, she has been relegated as a, look, see, Caitlin's not that good, look at her. And it's unfair to these players. They have botched this. They have absolutely botched this. And this is how you know they've botched this. Because no one gives a shit when Olivia Miles plays Paige Bueckers. That is how you know you've botched it. Everyone's going to watch Caitlin Clark versus Olivia Miles. Olivia Miles is one of the most fun players to watch in this league. She's one of the best guards in this league, and she's been one of the best guards since her first game. She came in at 21 on her first game and looked clutch against the Atlanta Dream. You are in a situation now with Olivia Miles where all you have to do is show her highlights. All you have to do as ESPN is, I'm sorry, every single game she posts something, get it on top 10. Every single time as a league, as ESPN, if you constantly promote Olivia Miles, maybe it doesn't happen immediately, but in 1-2 years, she becomes must-watch TV because she is, in my opinion, must-watch TV. But unfortunately, it takes 1 to 2 years of being must-watch TV before people start caring. Let's be real. Caitlin Clark has been Caitlin Clark since her freshman year. I was the one hyping her up in her sophomore year. Anyone who knows me from my 2K days knows I used to watch her highlights on stream in her sophomore year. It was her junior year that really she took off. Olivia Miles was injured her junior year, played at TCU last year, and they weren't as good as Iowa were. And then you've got Olivia Miles now. You've got 1 to 2 years where Olivia Miles, where you can hype her up. You don't need to use her as a stick to beat down Caitlin with. She's too good for that. She is one of the best guards in the league. She is already peak for peak having, I'm just trying to think of point guard seasons ever. Point guard seasons ever. There is an actual argument to be made that she is having the greatest regular season for a point guard of all time. Of all time. You have an ability as a league. You are completely failing your players. When you are seeing someone who may be having the greatest season for their position of all time, and you have reduced them to, see, she's better than Caitlin. That is what you have reduced Olivia Miles to. She's so much more than that. She is incredible. She is one of the more fun players to watch. And that is what you've reduced her to. I've said it with Paige Bueckers as well. Paige is too good to be reduced to, see, she's Caitlin before Caitlin. See, Caitlin's not that good. And that's the problem with the WNBA media, is they care more about putting down Caitlin Clark than they do about promoting the league. Because unfortunately, most of these people know nothing about basketball. It's the truth. They know nothing about basketball, or the amount of them that if you look at their bios, people that are on some of these networks, or people that were former players and stuff, it's like sports/political commentator. Exactly. That makes sense. You want to push this narrative with Caitlin Clark because you feel like it's a problem. And that's the league. It's the same with the league. I cannot wait until the old guard are as far away from this sport as possible. I cannot wait until every single person that was involved in this league before, and yes, some people are going to caught in the crossfire, perfectly fine. Anyone who was involved in this league before the NIL era, media or otherwise, I can't wait till they're all gone. Because the story for Olivia Miles should be chasing Candace Parker. The story for Olivia Miles should be the fact that her team, by the way, I looked at every single pre-year predictions. I had the Lynx the highest of any team, and I had them 5th. And they're going to be the best team in the league without Nafisa Collier, Alana Smith, Bridget Carlton, Dejanay from last year. And again, the story should be Olivia Miles. But unfortunately, in the WNBA media, the story is either Caitlin Clark, there's something wrong with Caitlin Clark, or if there's nothing wrong with if we can't find anything wrong with Caitlin Clark, this other player is better, is what Caitlin Clark was supposed to be. And it's a pity, because every other story gets drowned out in that. And again, let's be very clear. Let's be very, very clear. Like, I am somebody who does the opposite to an extent. I cover mostly Caitlin Clark. And at least I'm self-aware enough to know that, unfortunately, my money and my revenue is directly tied to how many views I get in these videos. I would love, and again, if any company out there wants to fund me talking about refusing to mention Caitlin Clark and talking about the Fever and doing something for you guys on the side, and I get a set salary and I can talk about all the great players in this league, I will take that money. Unfortunately, my money comes from views and the views come from Caitlin Clark. But at least I'm self-aware enough to admit that. You people are salaried employees and you still refuse to talk about her. Because again, you don't seem to care enough about basketball or this league to do that. It is what it is.